Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 8 of the Concrete Clappas, where we talk about all things period. I'm Mustard.
I'm Noah McClure.
And today we're talking about all things biases and hypocrisy. But to start, we had a little run through with the audio system. I was having trouble setting it all up because it's been so long since our last episode. Me and Noah played a little catch-up.
Just a little troubleshooting on our end.
Yeah, me and Noah played a little catch-up before we redid the audio recording because I was just having trouble with the system, which is my fault.
Happens to the best of us.
But basically, we just talked about summer plans. So just run through summer and fall plans.
All right, summer plans. So basically, my ass is getting out of school because I can't handle this shit. A little fair warning to our two viewers watching. When you pick a hard major, the classes that you take are difficult and they take a lot of time. And my dumbass thought that I could just kind of roll with it, how I've always been doing, and have a nice little zombie poo on the side and not really pay attention to shit. And I got so burnt out so fast, so I just kind of dropped. I pretty much stopped paying attention to most of my classes, so I'm dropping a couple of those. And then for fall, I'm probably going to be getting the fuck out of here because, well, this place is super nice, and my lease does end July 31st, I'm pretty sure. As soon as summer's over, I wanna go somewhere warmer than this place, just because, like Florida, for example, where my aunt has a little place with her I think husband, maybe fiance, probably husband. They have like a little guest room that I'm probably gonna ask to stay in or some shit. Make it a little motorcycle trip across the country or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I've got a buddy in Texas at halfway, so I could just like do an oil change there.
Oh yeah,
be perfect.
How have you been liking your motorcycle?
Dude, I love that thing more than life itself.
Really?
I got smacked by a car and I still don't regret it whatsoever. I would sell that Benz that I had a million times over, man.
Really?
It brought me no joy. This brings me immense joy.
How was it going through the winter with the motorcycle?
It was a little shitty. I just everyone lied to me. You can do it, especially in a place like Boise. Like, it's super fucking doable, especially because I don't really need to go super far. Like, my job is like a 10-minute ride on like my pedal bike away. Yeah. So like stores are like 5-8 minutes away. Like, I don't need to go particularly far, so I could kind of cheat the system a little bit. But I'm gonna need a car for next year for sure. Yeah. Kind of no matter what I do. It's just the move.
Do you think you'll sell your motorcycle to get the car?
If anything, I'll sell my motorcycle to get a faster motorcycle.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm probably gonna end up selling that thing next season, either at the beginning or at the end, and getting just like. So right now I have for any of you who are motorcycle two-wheel enthusiasts, I have a Yamaha MT-07. It's a 2020. It makes like 75 horsepower and 50 foot-pounds of torque. I'm looking to move to something that makes like 130 horsepower and like 75 pounds of torque. Maybe like a Gixxer 750 or something, or a Gixxer 600, somewhere around there. Something with more cylinders, but around the same displacement as what I have right now.
Yeah.
I want to go fast in a straight line.
Yeah.
Because right now it can only top out at like 135-ish, but those fully fared sport bikes with a little extra bang in them, they can go like 180, like fairly easy.
What made you want to get a motorcycle?
Adrenaline. I've always been like at least a little bit attracted to adrenaline. And like motorcycles for me have always just been like the coolest thing, that it's like, when I grow up, I'm going to buy a motorcycle. And then I grew up and the first year of college was over and my parents were like, hey, we don't want you to buy a motorcycle because we think that's an awful decision. So we're going to give you some money to buy a car. So I got the car, fucking hated it. It was really, really nice. Like, it had a couple of problems, but it was really, really nice. And it was like that car will fucking hold a place in my heart for sure, but it brought me no joy whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like a hunk of metal that fucking drove me around and like was kind of bougie. Like, I either way, long story short, sold that thing, fucking paid off my parents, bought the motorcycle, and then fucking like haven't looked back since. It was just It was the right move.
Yeah.
100%.
Nice.
I'd never go back.
I like motorcycles. I like your motorcycle.
I think you should buy a motorcycle.
I don't think my girlfriend would let me.
I think you should buy a motorcycle. So that you, me, and Lucas can do illegal shit. I mean, not illegal shit.
Is Luca gonna go?
Lucas is getting one, hopefully, in the next couple of months.
That's crazy. I can't imagine him getting one.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that scares the shit out of me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I can't imagine him having one. Like his tiny build.
Yeah, I'm
motorcycle.
gonna try and get him to buy like a Ninja 500 or something like that. Something that's like 30, 40 pounds heavier stock than like something that what I have. That
Yeah.
makes like a little bit less horsepower. Because like I do think that because he's such a skinny guy, he's gonna have just as much fun on it. Like it's still gonna have a lot of power,
Yeah.
and he's not gonna have to fucking like lug all of that around.
Yeah.
Sorry, don't mind me wiggling.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Got away from the mic.
So today, I have a couple questions written down. We decided to talk about bias and hypocrisy. I don't know if we already mentioned that. I looked up the definitions of both. What do you think the definition for bias is? Like, what is your personal definition?
All right, not looking at the phone. For bias, I think it is the preconceived notions that you have going into things that influence your opinions. How close am I?
The Google definition, I don't know what Google got it from. It says prejudice in favor or against one thing, person, or group compared with another, usually in a way considered to be unfair.
Okay.
So
I feel like bias typically is leaning towards the unfair side. Like when I think of bias, like it feels like unjustified bias.
Yeah.
Not like how in the sense that like, you know how stereotypes can sometimes be really, really accurate.
Yeah.
I don't think we really get that with, I think bias is usually like negative, like undeserving. You know?
Bias is always unfair.
Yeah,
You think?
for sure.
What do you think your biggest bias is?
Oh boy. For a while, I just kind of assumed that everyone else was as much of a piece of shit as I am, and that did not serve me very well. And
What do you, like, elaborate? Like, what do you mean by that?
like for like most of my high school years, I just assumed that everyone was as like, because I was like an angry, unhappy person. I assumed everyone was as fed up with everything as I was all the time.
Yeah.
And just that like the world was a shitty place. And then I like started doing things and living life, and I'm like, oh, people have hearts.
Yeah.
So that one kind of went out the window. So I don't think I'd really attach that to myself anymore. I think one of my biggest biases nowadays is against like not necessarily like governmental structures, but against like power structures.
Yeah.
I'm just not a big fan of bureaucracy, like whatsoever.
Yeah.
Do you know what bureaucracy is?
I mean, probably not.
It's in essence, it's just here. Actually, no. Let's get the, since we did it for the other two. Let's get a proper Google definition of bureaucracy.
Bureaucracy.
For me, bureaucracy is just like a bunch of systems and like the hierarchies that are set up and like how you interact with all of that.
So I assumed, because I didn't know a definition based off of my head, that it was a very specific group of
Like bureaucrats.
heads. Yeah, a group of voices working together. But the definition from Merriam-Webster is just a body of non-elected government officials or an administrative policy-making group.
Okay, I was more referring to like the administrative policy making side, because like whether it's like government adjacent or related, like it doesn't really matter to me. Like I'm not a big fan of the bureaucracy of school. But,
Yeah.
like it kind of has nothing to do with state legislature.
Yeah. Do you?
How about you got any long-standing biases?
I mean, I just have biases against specific groups of people.
Specific groups of people or specific people?
Specific just like groups of people. Like I stereotype people a lot. I think
Okay.
I stereotype a lot of people who are fans of things.
What's your opinion on Mexicans?
I think a lot of when I hear about people that go to specific things, I feel like I just hold biases towards them because in my head I just assume they're a certain type of people.
Like imagining like the type of people that go to like a Renaissance fair as like theater kids.
Yeah.
I get
like
you.
like when I think of people who go to like X concert or who go.
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Like,
I feel like I just judge people based on what they like, but I'm sure.
Yeah, for sure.
They're all individuals, but
I mean, we are each a mosaic of the things that we enjoy. But
yeah.
like, at the same time, like, people are typically more deep than that. I don't know. Most people that I assume are surface level are typically have way more going on than I can see. But
yeah, definitely. And I think it's good to. I mean, obviously, it's good. I'm not saying anything new by saying this, but it's good to get rid of that bias, obviously.
Yeah, being unbiased is nice.
Yeah. Do you think an unbiased world is good?
I think it is objectively. I don't think it has any impact on like the world, but like for every person that gets rid of their own biases, like that is one better person.
Yeah.
Like it is an objective good.
So from that statement, do you think biases are always bad?
I think what having biases does to a person impacts their worldview in a way that is always going to have a negative impact.
Wow. Let me give you an example. Today I went to Walmart with Dason and we saw a truck with a Confederate flag on it.
Now that would make me have some biases.
Yeah,
personally.
like is it bad to have like? Well, is it? Hold on, I'm just getting lost. Now it's just like judging people. But it's not. I don't think it's unfair to not like Confederate people. I think when I think of bias, I think it's like, oh, you went to a 21 Pilots concert. I don't like you. That feels like a bias.
But also, looking at some dude with a Confederate flag on the back of his truck, you assume something about his stance on racism.
Yeah, I guess that's
most likely. Like most people that like wave the Confederate flag, prove me wrong, because like I'm not an expert, but I feel like most people that wave the Confederate flag aren't fucking like belligerent racist, but like they have like important family figures that were like on that side of history.
I think I disagree. I think Confederates are racist people.
Really?
And that may be a bias.
Really?
But like, yeah, I mean, like, have you met a Confederate that's not racist?
No, I haven't met any Confederates.
What about Anthony Skilton?
Dude, Anthony Skilton is a fucking lunatic.
I mean, you're not hoping.
I think he's just. So I've actually been playing video games with Anthony Skilton recently.
Really?
I've been playing Marvel Rivals competitive with him.
You told me. I guess I can't talk because you've been playing video games with him.
We've been fucking it up, and I make as many racist jokes as he does. I don't think he's like a terrible person with awful views who like genuinely hates people because of the color of their skin. I think he just thought it was funny and was like an edgy high schooler.
Okay.
Okay,
maybe that makes a little sense, but I still hold a bias against him because he had a Confederate flag in his wallet. Like that might be a bias because
that's hilarious.
It might be unfair because I'm assuming he's a Confederate because he has that in his wallet.
No,
but
that's so fair. I feel like if you have that in your wallet, you're asking for it.
So okay,
and I'm not gonna sit here and try and defend him. He's not like one of my like good friends. I play competitive video games with him every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's about it. But
so I don't think I changed my mind.
You changed your mind?
I don't think it's biased to not like Confederate people. Well, is that a bias? I think it's kind of, well, maybe that's a bias for me saying it's not a bias just because I want to hate them and not feel mad about it.
I don't think the bias, I feel, because the moment of bias is when you look at somebody and you don't know anything about them and you see something that they associate with. And you assume because of that association, they are a certain way. Like that's where it starts. I feel like.
So I guess
I feel like as soon as that instance happens, you're biased one way or the other. So you just kind of have to look at the Confederate flag and ignore it.
Well, I don't want to. Oh, God.
Which I mean, okay, that brings me to another point. Is it biased to not want to go down an alley in Compton, LA in the middle of night?
Ooh, wow. I say
I don't think it is. I think that's just like
I mean, yeah.
common fucking sense.
Is it biased to not want to go into like a dangerous situation, like put yourself in a dangerous situation?
Is it biased to not want to do heroin?
I don't know, but does it make it biased if like people are involved, like because the dangers in the alleys of LA would be
they're
people.
so real. Well, but they're real. Like it's not like you can look at statistics and you can point to like certain parts of a map and be like, yes, these are dangerous areas.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is kind of disconnected from the people.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So it's not biased.
I don't think so.
Yeah. But is it biased if?
But then again, you're saying like this area holds this type of people, you know.
Like
so
dangerous
then you would be
people?
assuming that all people from that spot are dangerous, and that's a biased assumption, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
I guarantee you, there's some like fucking 9-year-old girl sitting in the projects that has fucking nothing to do with any like gangbangings or murders. That's just fucking living her best life, you know. Like like not. Yeah, I feel like the assumption wouldn't apply universally.
Yeah.
To assume that like everyone in the projects is dangerous.
Wow. Is it if there was no bias, would there be no conflict?
I think if there was no bias, there would be a lot. I feel like conflict would dramatically go down. People would still disagree about things in a way that is so intense that they're willing to fight about it. Like that, I feel like that's just gonna happen. But like
what would they fight about? Name me one thing that is like something that you would fight for, something that you personally would fight for if someone was like,
okay, not me, but I can guarantee you there's a million people on this planet that would get violent over money, for example, you know? Like somebody's still gonna fucking rob a bank because they want money. Like that's violence and crime, and it has absolutely nothing to do with assumptions about people, you know?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Is it possible to have a
I don't think getting rid of bias creates utopia. I think it creates a world full of people that sees things for what they are, and that gets rid of a lot of the bullshit that we experience. It doesn't get rid of fucking like crime though, you know.
Yeah, because in a way I'm trying to be like, because you know when there's a human trait, is bias a human trait?
I think so. I think it's pretty inherent. I feel like it's a trait of the ego, but it's really hard to like you have to like meditate for 10 years or do like a dangerous amount of psychedelics to start getting away from the ego. Like that, that's not very approachable for the average human being.
Because I'm trying to argue like, oh well, bias is a human trait, so
I feel like if
we get rid of it, then we go into utopian society where everyone is boring and gray and nothing is fun anymore. If we get rid of bias, so bias is good. But I don't like bias. Bias obviously bias isn't good on like face value.
Yeah, that's like. It's like that question of like, if you could get rid of like one animal, what would it be? And I'd be like, mosquitoes. And they'd be like, oh yeah, well that impacts like the spider population, and that impacts like the bug population. And, like you can make like trying to remove something from the complex equation that has become like what we are. It just fucks everything up no matter how you go about it.
It's like I don't know if you said it on this take or our last take, but you said something about being an amalgamation of your surroundings.
Oh yeah, a mosaic of our desires.
That was a bomb quote.
I'm pretty sure I stole that from somebody else. I have. I don't know. I can't be the first human being.
I would believe you if you said you came up with it. Do you have a least favorite genre of music?
Oh my god, I fucking hate country music.
I had the most interesting.
I fucking hate country music.
I had the most interesting conversation with my girlfriend where I asked her the same question, and she said country music, and I agree.
I agree with your girlfriend, bro.
I agree, and hold on.
I agree, and is the best way you possibly could have started that. Good fucking man.
I have to turn the volumes down a little bit. It's so loud. Oh no, it's probably okay. But I hate bro country because of the way it sounds, and I feel like it's not very musical.
It's also not very genuine.
Yeah,
like,
and
there's a reason people like Johnny Cash.
I was expecting her to say something like there's just no like soul in it. There's no something. And then she gave me the most profound answer ever. She was like, country from what I've learned, and from what I put in the conversation, country comes from the blues, which came from black people in America singing about their troubles, and it evolved through farmers singing about bureaucracy, singing about the state of their living situation. And that was what she said. She said that, and I was like, wow, I don't feel like that's a personal bias that she has against like bro country. I don't feel like she has a bias against bro country. I just feel like she has a gripe with it because it comes from something that had value and now it doesn't, or something.
So what I'm hearing is that your girlfriend is a bureaucrat.
I don't know. I mean, are we all bureaucrats? Well, I guess she was fighting. I mean, she was fighting for a kind of music that fought against bureaucracy.
That's fair.
And her argument was just it's transformed into something that's just so it seems almost for bureaucracy.
No, totally. Country music has absolutely been institutionalized and like kind of devolved into like this formulaic thing that you just kind of like spoon feed the people that enjoy it. Like it doesn't change. Like it's always the same shit. I completely understand.
So I don't think she's biased in that. And do you think you could trace back any bias you have to a real reason and then be like, no, that's actually not biased because this is why I don't like it?
Totally. Country music associates my brain with like redneck shit and like being poor, and I hate being poor.
Do you have a bias against redneck people?
Kind of. Not really, because I've had more than one redneck girlfriend and 1,000,000,001 redneck friends. Yeah. I understand. I feel like I understand rednecks pretty well.
Yeah.
But I also, it's not. I don't. Okay, I actually take that back. I don't think I'm biased like I originally thought I am, because now that I'm like examining it in my head, I think it's just like I don't enjoy the types of things that rednecks typically enjoy, so I distance myself from that type of stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I definitely don't want to find myself living the redneck lifestyle. Like, nothing against them, like that's just not for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
But originally, when I just like thought of it, like off the top of my head, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm biased, because when I think redneck, I think like bad stuff that I don't want, you know.
Do you feel biases in like video games when you hear someone says, "Oh, I play this video game," you're like League of Legends?
Dude, when somebody says they play League of Legends, I don't want to talk to them.
Yeah. Is it just a bias we create because we don't like the game, or is there just like we just assume we stereotype?
So when somebody says they play League of Legends, typically that means that they've been playing League of Legends for a very, very, very long time. And League of Legends, for its entire existence, has had one really, really big problem, and that's the balancing. It's really hard to balance. Like, I think they started off with like 40 or 50 heroes or something. There's now like 150. You can't balance that many fucking heroes and have like a playable game. Yeah. And for like 15 years, this game has been unbalanced and awful. And the type of people that play it are the type of people that are so fucking attached to the memories that they had with it, like playing with their buddies, that they can't get over the shit game that it is and stop fucking playing it.
That's what I
think about Overwatch players too.
That's what I think about Marvel Rivals players.
Bro, Marvel Rivals makes me nostalgic of Prime Overwatch, and I am so happy to admit that. Like, I have a positive bias towards Marvel Rivals because it feels like Prime Overwatch.
I have a negative bias towards both Overwatch players and Marvel Rivals players, which I'll also tie back in because I am an Overwatch player and a Marvel Rivals player. But the type of people that I stereotype when I hear they play Marvel Rivals is people that want to play Overwatch. Overwatch is just so bad.
Dude,
now.
Overwatch killed itself. They shot themselves in the foot and they're like, yes, let me put some medicine on this, and then shot themselves in the fucking calf.
It's my personal bias with the game is that the game didn't run well for me, and I didn't have a fun time playing. Like I never could.
So Jacob also can't get the game to run, which makes me think that you just need a beefy ass super mega chonker PC in order to play it.
I don't think you do, because some games I would play and it was like, wow, I reached 240 FPS. Like my eye can't even move that fast. But then I would load into a new game, load in halfway through the match.
You know, that's what Jacob was saying. Like character select would already be over and the match was like already like 20 seconds in by the time he would be able to like load in and see anything.
Yeah, and then I load in and the characters aren't loaded in. Like it's
There's
just
no
blank.
models. Yeah.
So when I think about people that play Marvel Rivals, I think about people that are horny for Miss Fantastic or whatever her name is. Like people that like just incels. Like that's just what I assume. And I'm not calling you an incel, but that's just
there's a million and one gooners and fucking Marvel Rivals.
And I guess everyone has a bias. Like I'm sure people have, like my dad has a bias towards people that play video games.
Oh,
obviously, because
my dad has a bias towards people that play
like I'm sure
both
lots
of his sons play video games, and it's like arguably been a negative influence.
But is it unfair to have that bias against something that's like, oh, it's melting your brains?
I don't think so. I mean, kind of, because like it is so easy. Because like there's a lot of like clinical literature that's been coming out in the past like 5 or so years about like what playing video games for like fucking 20 hours a day does to your brain. And like how that affects like your dopamine circuitry and like the reward centers of your brain, and like the various neural pathways.
Yeah.
And essentially, we're kind of learning that video games act very similar to like low doses of drugs, and the fact that they bring your dopamine way up for literally no physiologic like cost. Like there is no you're not doing something physical and getting dopamine out of like a completion of like a project or whatever the fuck. Like it's just it's artificially kind of like milking those dopamine circuits in your brain, if that makes sense.
So the bias is fair. So
it is fair.
So
it's
then
not.
It's not a bias. Does that mean our parents don't have biases?
Okay, so are justified biases still biases? I think is the question that we're asking.
Well, I don't think there can be a justified bias, because I think the point of a bias is that it's unfair.
So, okay, no, you're absolutely right, because that goes back to my thing about like the moment of bias, and it's like that's completely separate than whether or not the thing that you thought was true.
Yeah.
The fact that you thought it about them because of some association is like that is the bias. Whether or not it's like reality follows, that's like completely separate, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. True.
So true.
This is true. Moving on to
what was the other thing?
Hypocrisy?
Hypocrisy.
The other thing that we were talking about? So as I said,
I'm a big ass hypocrite.
I have a bias against Overwatch and Marvel Rivals player, but I was a huge Overwatch player, and I still play a lot of video games.
Yeah.
And is it fair for me to have biases against people that play other video games than me, or does it just look like a bunch of ants shouting at each other?
It's definitely Hippocratic for this one dude who plays these pixels to shout at this other dude who plays those pixels.
Yeah. And like with country, like I'm sure people that love country country so much.
It's the same fucking thing.
And they hear Imagine Dragons and they go,
they're like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, how can you make fun of us when this is what you listen to?
Yeah.
No, you're totally right.
And I'm sure like with the argument for bro country and why
bro country specifically sucks pretty bad.
Yeah, what bro country comes from, I'm sure you could trace that back to all music and just be like, this came from this and this is better than this, so this is bad. Like, is it like does it like
I don't think I don't really think it's fair to like I don't think it's fair to judge anyone because of anything that they like.
Because of anything that they like?
Yeah, I think like I'm a live and let be kind of person. I don't really think there's a problem in that.
What if someone likes
If somebody likes murder,
KKK
that's different.
Or something. I don't know.
If somebody's a fan of the KKK and they have KKK memorabilia lining their walls and they fucking post racial slurs on the internet, but they don't fucking do anything about it, I really don't care that much. I'm gonna be so honest. And I feel like that might be a controversial opinion, but I just can't give less of a fuck about what people do unless it impacts me.
Unless that is a crazy statement. That's probably the craziest thing I've ever heard you say ever.
I don't like you can fucking put things in holes. You can do things with different genders. Like I really don't give a fuck what people do in their free time. I just don't want to be a part of the stuff that I don't like.
I think it's different when you say like put things on, like you mean like gay people. Is that what you mean?
I mean, yeah. Well, I'm not comparing like gay people doing shit to like a racist.
that's what it sounded like. You were like, I don't really mind if you're part of the KKK, like, or gay. Like,
I wasn't making them. The point that I was making was I truly don't give much of a fuck. I don't think being a part of the KKK and being gay are at all comparable.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Just to clarify, I love gay people. I do not love members of the KKK. I just don't like as long as they're not hurting human beings and like being hateful in real life. But I don't think that's like.
But I think they are hurting human beings and
yeah, so that's bad.
But you said you just didn't care. That's what you just said.
Well, yeah, but they're being a problem. They're making themselves my problem, if that makes sense. I'm a humanitarian. I care about people like living their best lives. If some people are being hurt by a certain group of people, then that bothers me. If they are doing their thing and it bothers nobody, then I don't give a shit.
I feel like if there was a group of people that really hated, if there was an
island of dudes that hated black people and they never interacted with the rest of the world, I couldn't give less of a shit. It was just full of white dudes.
I'm feeling very perplexed right now.
I don't know if this is that nuanced of an opinion though.
It seems nuanced to me because I really want to fight for being like, obviously the KKK is awful. Obviously I want to get a reaction out of you out of being like, yeah, I would. Like, that bothers me.
I mean, yeah, on some fundamental level, I don't agree with not liking people based on the color of their skin, but it's more of, it's about like what impact that they have, because I don't think that if they're silently fucking chanting some racist mantra to themselves in the quiet and comfort of their own home, like, is that objectively a bad thing if it doesn't lead to anything? Or are you just gonna let that person fucking live and leave them alone?
I mean, like, I think it's bad to hate. Like, if someone is, well, I guess if someone's hating something and you retaliate with hate, obviously that's bad. But I feel like sometimes it's justified, and sometimes we should get that person to stop doing that. Does that make sense?
No, that totally makes sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like I'm fucking a broken record, but again, like I can't. Like, I don't see how it really matters if what somebody is doing doesn't affect other people. Once it starts affecting other people, then it's no longer like in isolation. Like they're bringing they're bringing other people into it. So I think then it's fair to care. But
what if it does hurt people when they say things like that to other people?
I mean, if you're fucking going into the mall and shouting the N-word, then I think that's bringing other people into it for sure.
That would bother you?
Yeah.
Well, how is that any different from saying slurs on Twitter? Like, where do you draw the line where it's like, okay, this member of the KKK isn't bothering anyone, so we should leave him alone?
I don't think. Well, I mean, it's like, how do you prosecute a criminal? It's like once they do something, it's like you can't put a dude in jail for 10 years because he had bank heist plans all fucking over his like bedroom walls and shit like that.
What about criminal intent?
Well, yeah, but it's like there's a reason that it's criminal intent and they're not just being prosecuted for the fucking thing, you know?
Yeah.
It's like you take a different attitude towards it because they do that thing, but you don't treat them as if they did that thing.
Yeah. Do you feel
which
like
I feel like that's the most fair that you can be.
Do you feel like you would have a different opinion about it if there was a group like the KKK for the kind of person you are?
It like anti-Nazis kind of like black supremacists.
No, what?
Or like,
I mean, like if there's a group of people and they were just like, I hate Noah so much.
oh, I thought
and
you meant white people. When you said people like me, I thought you just meant white people.
No, I sorry. Let me rephrase the question. There's so many things. I know if I listen to this and I tune in and out, I'm gonna sound so awful. I'm gonna sound like such an awful person.
Both of us are gonna sound like pieces of shit. But
this is the
who cares,
by
man?
far most political Concrete Clappers ever.
Oh, 100%.
The last Concrete Clappers episode was literally aspirations and why sci-fi versus fantasy.
And then the one before that, I'm pretty sure was with Dason. And it's like, what do you want to do with your life?
What are you gonna do? And they were like,
the KKK, the government, the bureaucrats.
and then it's like desire,
Just see the bureaucrats.
the happiness of pursuit, stories and storytelling tactics. This one's just titled the KKK period.
The KKK. You should absolutely. That's the name of that.
Oh my gosh.
I guarantee you in post we'll think of a better name.
Do you think we have any right to talk about it?
Dude, no. I don't think my opinion has any weight. I've never been treated with racist intent in my entire life. Well, I mean, actually no, I take that back because racism can be literally anything, and I have had black people like fucking like not be nice to me because I like, you know, some white kid. But I mean, I still don't like there's never been like fucking systemic racism towards my people, you know? Like my clan from Ireland has never been like put into slavery because of like the way that they looked, you know? Like I don't think that like my history and my standing gives me any grounds to have like a fucking substantial opinion on this shit, you know?
So do you think it's better if we just live and let go? Is that what you're trying to get after? Just like
yeah, I'm saying like obviously, well, when things start to affect people, that's when people start being loud, if you know what I mean. Like that's when it goes from like that's when it goes from like a very personal instance to like something kind of public when you start bringing other people into it. Like that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like,
yeah.
With like actually like involving other people and like acting on like what you feel.
Yeah.
Fuck. How do I word this?
I feel like
I swear I'm not racist.
It's a lot of your comments on this episode could be taken
ever so slightly different and be super racist.
And like the comment you said 10 seconds ago, my jaw was like, I was a little bit like, what are you talking about?
Bro, fuck. How do I don't even know how to fucking describe what's going through my head.
I think I can get after what you're saying.
I am absolutely a live and let live person to answer your question.
Okay. Understood.
I'm going to stop talking about this because like I said, I don't think my opinion means anything. I'm just some fucking white dude on a podcast. Like,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay.
I will say though, I care about people. Like if I don't think being a racist is a good thing. Like, you know, like that's just objectively bad.
Yeah.
Non-controversial opinion. Like, ladies and gentlemen, Noah McClure is not racist.
Noah McClure isn't racist, and he hates racist people. Or do you? Do you hate racist people?
I try to love people for being people, but like it's really certain things make people really hard to like treat like people,
like being racist?
Being a racist, like being a murderer, like being a pedophile, like that category is pretty bad. like all I don't know if I'd equate all those things, but I think like they're all in the realm of like pretty bad, maybe shouldn't, like I don't know. I think people deserve to be treated like people, but like if you murdered a dude, maybe not.
So you hate racist people?
I don't know, bro. I don't think so.
You don't hate racist people?
I feel like racist people are just people with horribly misinformed opinions. I don't I don't think there's a lot of like people where racism is their religion and they just believe in it because like, yes, the power of racism.
I am trying to prod at Noah's brain. I'm trying to find out what he's thinking of there.
If I'm gonna be so honest, I kind of don't. I don't want to say that I hate racist people, but I don't like racist people.
Why not? Just say you hate racist people. Why is it like? I
feel like there's like room for reform though. Like racist people don't have to be racist.
Yeah, like I'm sure I could forgive someone like if they had been racist in the past and now it shows they're visibly changed. But if they were still racist, I would hate them.
Yeah.
That's just in my opinion, I hate racist people. Like that's not a controversial opinion. I feel comfortable saying that, you know?
Yeah, and I feel like there's also like kind of a bring back bullying argument where it's like if you treat all the racist people like shit and hate them, then maybe they'll stop being racist.
I think bullying is good because I don't like racist people, you know? But
bullying is good for racism.
I feel like maybe, but if we bring back bullying, is that like an advocate for?
That's probably bad for racism.
Bringing back racism, is that like what we're getting at?
No, don't bring back racism, please. I feel
not that racism. Yeah, racism. Not that racism went away.
Racism's still here.
You're so quiet.
Here.
My input.
Hold on, my bad.
My input is so quiet, and I realized yours was so loud.
No,
I turned you up.
My fat ass was just kind of like lounging away from the microphone.
We're gonna listen back on the recording, and I'm gonna be so loud. You're gonna be so quiet.
Oh. Yeah.
That was a 20,
that was so
20
politically charged.
That was the most charged politically I have ever felt in my life. And it wasn't even, there was no like political talk other than like the KKK, which I guess is political.
I don't like racist people. I believe in people.
That's hopeful. I mean, that's a hopeful thing.
Yeah, I feel like that is how I could boil down my opinions.
You're hopeful you hate racist people. I'm not to put words in your mouth.
I don't like the word hate, but I don't fucking like racist people. If there was a better word, I would use it, but there isn't. So yes, I hate racist people.
Yeah, you know. Sure. I'm very happy you said that.
I mean, it's true. Like I don't. Fuck yeah. Let's just stop.
No more racist talk. Do we have? I already asked you, but do we have a right to talk about race talk?
I feel like yes and no. I feel like as people, we just kind of like as people with the faculty of thinking, we have not just the right to say what we think, but we have a responsibility to say what we think. And I think every voice matters. I think our voice matters less than the people who have been directly affected by this type of shit.
What's your opinion? What's your opinion on like? I haven't caught.
What's your opinion on gay people?
I'm not caught up with like what Elon has done with Twitter.
I am not the person to catch you.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that right now. I know that he did the Hitler salute one time, like a little bit ago, and that was really not good. But
I've just heard that he's basically unplugged. I don't know if this is true. I'm going to look it up on the internet.
On X? On the platform formerly known as Twitter?
Yeah, sorry, on X. Did Elon Musk remove censorship?
That would be fucking X? Insane.
Elon Musk, it's just a bunch of...
Do you think media deserves to be censored?
I mean, I think you have to in some places. I mean, it's impossible to avoid.
You can't have beheadings and like fucking anuses just like on
YouTube.
Fucking the kids side of YouTube
on Disney Plus, but
yeah,
it's so hard. The internet makes things so difficult.
Dude, the internet fucked everything.
The internet is.
We'd be fine if we had like badass cars and like iPhones and shit, but like the internet, like Google didn't exist.
It's
I
so
feel
tricky.
like we'd be fine.
Yeah, I mean, why not just...
We'd have less cheating in colleges and people would be like better off.
Do you use GPT?
No, but I take any advantage that I can to have the better number on my fucking portfolio by the end of this. Because college is a fucking game, and I'm here to play it.
I have a huge.
I don't use ChatGPT. I think it's fucking stupid. I will use ChatGPT to generate, like, landing boards to jump off of, if that makes sense.
That doesn't make sense. So you use ChatGPT.
I mean, occasionally, but like most of the shit that I would use it for, it's just not applicable. Like,
But
how the fuck?
you use AI to do things.
I have used AI to do things. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna be shy about that. But like, it's kind of useless for most of the things that I would use it to do.
But you keep being like, yeah, I would. Yeah, I don't. But
Well, I mean,
and
it's because it's useful,
yeah.
but not for me right now.
What
I
about
say that because if it was more useful, like if ChatGPT could give me an A in all of my classes, I would be using ChatGPT right now. But it's just useless for my use case, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Which maybe makes me a bad, dishonest student. I don't care. I want a job with good money.
Yeah.
I'm here for me. I think it's closing in 30 minutes.
The library?
Wait, hold on. What time is it? Yeah, it's closing in 30 minutes. We have it until 5, though, so.
Yeah, we'll be done in 15 minutes.
And then we can... Yeah.
I was just gonna say a huge bias, and I'm very hypocritical because I'm like, I hate AI.
You were right to join these two, by the way. Bias and hypocrisy are so hand in hand.
I
Because
know.
I feel like for every bias that I have, I'm also hypocritical about it.
Yeah, yeah, because again, every one of our statements has been like, yeah, that's bad,
But
not
dude,
the KKK.
I
The KKK
love
is bad.
who was it?
Moist critical.
No. It was oh yeah, I know the
But
dude, fucking Lucas and Dason. Every time they talk about gay people, they're like, I don't care. But
Jason said the craziest thing ever to me. This is the craziest thing Jason has ever said. I was talking to him, and it was a normal conversation, and he was like, why don't bisexual people just choose one? And I was like, what?
Oh my god, dude, what?
It's like, what?
What do you
And that's-
do? You not like? Did you not put like 5 seconds of forethought into that statement?
Yeah, I feel like that's just a bias on him, and obviously I'm judging him, but I think that's a bias on his part because what have bisexual people done to Dason Morris?
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. Bisexual girls have fucked me up.
How?
I've had my heart broken by many a bisexual woman.
Yeah, but again, like,
Never because they were going to date a woman, though.
yeah. So that's
You
I feel
know?
like that's just more against the person, not
Yeah,
against
yeah.
not against our sexuality.
Yeah, for sure.
This keeps getting more political.
Dude,
we
I
can't
love
help it.
I
We
love
can't
it.
we can't help it.
I love talking about about gay people and racism and things that make me sad.
That's gonna be taken out of context again.
You're so right. The racism makes me sad. Gay people do not make me sad. Or yeah, gay people do not make me sad.
You keep putting like things and sentences together, and they just clash so hard, and they just make you sound like an awful person.
Dude, at this point, I don't even fucking know, man.
This is crazy. I'm gonna
have so much fun listening to this.
It's okay because we're the only people that are gonna listen to
Yeah.
it, and I'm gonna listen to it. And I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, I sound like a crazy person.
To be fair, I'm kind of I'm kind of trying to be as out of pocket and like honest, like with what comes to my brain, like fucking very first.
Yeah.
Like I feel like sitting here and thinking about shit for 5 minutes before I formulate a response to get a better response out is just horrible entertainment.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is good for me too. Sometimes
Just being spontaneous.
Yeah. Sometimes I need to get fired up and.
It's
I
good,
guess
it's good,
I wasn't
yeah.
even fired up. I was just talking
In the
quickly.
moment.
I was just talking
Yeah,
quickly.
Yeah.
What's next?
One thing that I learned about charisma is that if you talk slower, people objectively think that you are more confident and knowledgeable about what you're going to say.
Really?
The slower you talk, it's better for sales tactics. It's better for convincing people of shit. Like
I feel like-
talking slower is just like peak like conversationalism.
I feel like your voice slowed down as you said that.
No, it did.
You're like, as you're talking slower, you didn't.
No, I did that on purpose.
Because I feel like all episode, I'm not gonna be. This is the least sexy I've been in my life because I'm like.
Dude, I think right now I am the least sexy that I've ever been.
I feel that way too.
Dude, I need to like hit the gym and eat like fucking 6,000 grams of protein and like have sex with 12 women at once and like get my groove back, bro.
That's a crazy sentence. That's a crazy statement. I feel like this is just I feel like I'm getting old and I have like a little belly and I'm like, no, like go away.
I feel like I'm losing my fire.
Your fire?
I feel like I'm honestly, dude, I've been so burnt out with life that I've honestly lost like most of my motivation, which makes me feel awful because I've always been like a hyper motivated person.
Yeah. I listened to these past episodes and to be honest, you sound so excited in all the episodes. And then I talked with you on the phone and you were like,
yeah.
I was like, no.
Nah, life's just been fucking kicking my ass, but I just need to grab it by the balls and fucking do something about it.
Move.
Exactly.
Move.
I need to get mobile. I need motion in my life.
Motion?
I need some motion.
I need motion too. I need liquid right now.
I need caffeine.
I need liquid like money.
Oh. I want caffeine, bro.
I had a
Fuck, man, I'm gonna hit the gym after this.
I had a white Monster the other day. So good.
I've probably spent between Chick-fil-A and like Monster and Red Bull, I've probably spent $1,000 on that shit in the past couple of months.
Wow.
Dude.
Wow.
Help me.
How are you gonna pay rent?
Dude, I don't pay rent. That's my parents pay my rent. That's the deal.
What?
Yeah. Because I got scholarships to pay for my college. My parents pay for my rent. So I did my part in high school, and they're like, "Okay, son."
Goated parents. Thank you, parents.
But it's kind of fucked up because now that I'm having to drop some classes, I'm going to lose part of my financial aid. So I'm going to have to be like, hey, I feel really bad. I'm sorry. And even though I'm going to take out a loan to cover it so that they don't have to pay more because, I mean, I already feel really bad about them fucking paying for my rent. It's like, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to have to take out like $1,000 loan, you know? Yeah. Like, who gives a shit? Do you have any, okay, weird ass question. Do you have any like fucking family prospects coming your way? Are there any McKellar goodies that you are entitled to?
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. Does Tyler have like fucking land for you guys to like split amongst you or some shit like that? That feels like something that your family would do.
No.
Okay.
But like, you have life insurance.
That's an interesting one.
If that's what you mean.
That's an interesting one because I know for a fact that nobody in my family has. I don't think my grandparents have life insurance.
Really?
Yes. My grandparents have been fairly well off for most of their lives.
Really?
Yes.
I feel like my parents, it's always been, I feel like it's just best. In my opinion, life insurance is best for the kids. It just kind of, if things go south, it's there. And like my grandpa passed like last year, and my grandma has been living it up. Like my
that's honestly really awesome.
Like bless her heart. Obviously, it's been so hard for her. Like I don't want to say this has been a good thing, but
like,
she's been
like condolences for your grandpa, of course.
Yeah, she's been able to live. She's been able to go somewhere warmer.
Having that freedom to do things despite the bad thing that happened.
Yeah. So I think life insurance is good.
Life insurance? No, it's pretty good. It's just also something that like only I feel like it's something that only like very well off people think about.
Really?
Yes, because until you have like a net worth of like several $100,000, like what the fuck is even life insurance? Like you have like if you have nothing to your name and no proof that you're like you had like that you were most likely going to continue making money for the next like however many years, like your policy isn't really entitled to like give your family that much because you weren't worth very much.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know?
And I remember when my mom told me my mom told me that we had life insurance, and I was like, Dad's gonna die. Like it's over for him.
That's totally like a little kid thing, though.
But the more I think about it, I'm like, wow, because my family does have a lot of medical issues, and not to say like.
Are the McKellars prone to? a certain type of like cancer?
Lots of cancer.
Lots of cancer.
Lots of different cancer.
Right. I'm really glad because nobody in my direct family has cancer, and my grandpa that recently got diagnosed with cancer is my dad's stepdad, so
Okay.
I'm not biologically related to him.
That's good, but bad for him.
Well, yeah, no, like, and thank God he's in remission right now, so like things are going back, and like he's been treated and such, but yeah, like it's just objectively better for me to not have a family history of the cancer.
It's kind of freaky though that you like when you get life insurance, it's like you'll be worth this much, like this is how much
like
you
this
are.
is what your like time here is worth. That's a wild thing to think about.
So scary. I don't exactly know how life insurance works.
So
like,
it's
fully.
variable, and it depends on your policies. A lot of them work like, you know how like workman's comp works, like where if you're a full-time employee and you generally make this much in this amount of time, and you injure yourself on the job, you still make that much or most of that much amount of time or that much amount of money. For life insurance, they take like for how certain policies work, they take like what you're expected to make, and they essentially like pay out the family for like the next like 20 years of your expected employment.
Okay, I see. So they take so
Only
it's
certain policies do that though. Some are just a lump sum of if you die, your family gets like $2 million, like a couple $1 million. You know?
Yeah. How much is life insurance?
Expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And it's literally you don't get anything until after you die, which is why I was like,
you have to be well
you have
off.
to be very well off, like not just well off, but like well off enough to where you're not even really concerned about your own financial state anymore. You're more like, how do I set up my kids to be like multimillionaires and like give them like houses and shit like that, you know? Well, that's honestly a little extravagant. Like obviously your family has been able to do it and be, financially stable, but like you have to be fairly well off in order to like make it happen whatsoever.
That's so interesting. That's so scary that we can like.
And I know you guys don't have jets and shit like that.
No,
the McCullers aren't giving houses to their grandkids.
Do you think Mr. Beast does life insurance?
Mr. Beast? 100%.
Does he have a wife? Does he have a wife?
I'm pretty sure he has a wife and a child, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he's engaged.
No child then. No, Mr. Beast seems like a no wife, no kid kind of guy. What do you think about having a kid with somebody that you're not married to?
I think it's okay as long as you love them, and as long as you're both responsible with the. Like,
you think it's like overwhelmingly like bad news though?
Overwhelmingly like bad.
Your girlfriend is pregnant right now, but she is the love of your life.
Right now, I'd be like, that's our question.
Yeah,
that's a weird question because I think I'd be worried because I'm not in any good place to be a father right now. So
like I don't want to have kids until like I own like a house and like have like a I'm well into my career.
Yeah, and can feed them,
feed a family, and provide.
It's also crazy because my parents had their first. My parents had my older sister when they were like 23.
Super early, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine having a kid then.
I think my brother was born when my parents were like 27 or some shit like that.
I say like, oh, I want to be so well off and I want to have enough money to pay for the kid. But when my parents had their first kid, they was like my dad was the only one working. My mom would stay at home, and my dad was not making like.
To be fair though, money. I imagine this was before the recession of 2008.
It was 1999.
Pre-recession America is like a cheat code. You can just like go and fucking like get a job and like support a family off of like fucking a little bit over minimum wage. Yeah. Like it's not gonna be like an extravagant lifestyle, but like you can do it. So you could do it so easy. Yeah. Now it's just literally impossible. Yeah. Fucking rent is like $4,000 a month.
You need two incomes and
you need 2 jobs and fucking 3 side hustles and fucking a drop shipping fucking page. And like a social media that makes you like fucking $50 a month and like a fucking sponsors and stupid
things. Too much to live,
bro. Adulting is hard.
Life is too expensive.
Adulting is fucking hard.
We're here for it though. Why not live?
We are here for it.
Why not live?
Why not live?
Choose life. Have you seen what is it called? Trainspotting.
No, I know what you're talking about. Isn't it about that kid that does drugs? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It looks so fucking good.
You gotta watch it. It'll change your perspective. I mean, you already have the kind of perspective it's trying to tell you about.
Yeah.
It's like you'll watch it and you'll still be like, whoa.
Wow, yeah.
It's kind of like it's like a younger like Scottish brother of Fight Club.
Sorry, you said why not live, and it made me think of Cowboy Bebop.
Why not live? Choose life. What's the thing from Cowboy Bebop is
I know it's not that, but like
whatever happens. Is that's Cowboy Bebop?
Yeah, and you're gonna carry that weight.
You're gonna carry that weight is
Yeah,
the big one.
yeah.
Oh god, love Cowboy Bebop.
No, I know they're not the same, but like it just kind of reminded me of like the feel of that show.
Yeah. What time is it? We reached an hour.
We've reached an hour.
So we got 15 minutes to export this. So
All right.
we'll end the episode there.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for sitting here and listening to us. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. I'm sorry, it's the most political.
No,
Concrete Clappers.
fucking, I'm so glad this is the most political Concrete Clappers. I'm glad you got to listen here and listen to me talk about how I love racist people.
Yeah.
That's the moral of the
That's
story.
a joke, by the way. He hates racist people.
I do hate,
Right?
or do I?
Right. Anyways, thank you. This has been episode 8 of the Concrete Clappers. Look for more episodes of Concrete Clappers. They will come. Thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Peace.
Bye.